Greetings, vinyl community, and welcome to VC Friday, where this week I have 3 awesome new vinyl finds to show you. And we're going to start off in the year 1974, and a very, very good year it was, especially for proggy, glammy rock along the lines of the debut album from Bebop Deluxe. This is Axe Victim. The only album by the original lineup of Bebop Deluxe, because by the end of 1974, Bill Nelson, of course the central figure, had fired all the rest of these guys and assembled an entirely new lineup, which went on to become the classic lineup. The version of this album I had in the past was a non-gatefold version. I thought it was a British copy. This is a British copy with the gatefold, and the lyrics printed on the inside in silvery lettering, so it's impossible to read. I think from the version I had before, I almost thought the band was a trio, because Ian Parkin, the second guitarist, was so obscured by fumes back there. We also have Nicholas Chatterton-Dew on the drums, and on the bass, we have Rob Bryan. Big difference between this lineup and the classic Bebop Deluxe is that there is no dedicated keyboard player. What piano and organ there is played by Bill Nelson and a little bit by Ian Parkin, so the guitarist's doing a bit of doubling. So, this is an album that is glammy, is proggy, and is highly indebted to David Bowie. And I know that Bill Nelson would bristle at being compared to David Bowie. He did not appreciate that this album drew those comparisons, but it is so obvious. Throughout the lyrics, there are references to gayness, to men wearing makeup, and the very opening verse of the album is, "You came to watch the band, to see us play our parts. We hoped you'd lend an ear. You hoped we'd dress like tarts." So he's obviously making a statement of intent to live within that glam rock framework. And then when you get to a track that is titled Jet Silver and the Dolls of Venus, come on, how on the nose can you be? Bill Nelson wanted to be Ziggy Stardust so bad it hurt.
He's been saving, selling everything he didn't need. Such a shy boy with a secret in his sleeve. He's a strange one, never bothers with the girls. Heard him swear once, at least I thought I heard him curse. Someone had called him queer. Yeah, it's one of those, my dear. They're all the same one-hand lovers. But he's finally found enough to pay another call to the middle-aged angel on the 3rd floor. She can do him in twice, nightly on an encore. Kicks him in the head, oh, how he screams for more.
Musically, this is a superb mix of pop, glam, prog rock, with superb guitar from Bill Nelson. Just great hooky songs. This is an album that's been on my radar, so really pleased to welcome this album back to my collection.
And the love that gave its blaze to my heart now brings a haze. Be careful, 'cause I'm an axe victim. Silver strings like wings, like time machines.
Fast forward 10 years to 1984 and the second album by Canadian chanteuse Jane Siberry, No Borders Here, on the Open Air Records label. Also got the imprint of Duke Street Records. via Windham Hill, via A&M. It's all subsidiaries of subsidiaries of subsidiaries. This is great art pop, art rock, somewhat comparable to Laurie Anderson, but more melodic, not so spoken wordy. Definite elements of prog rock mixed in. In particular, there are bits that recall 80s King Crimson, especially the guitar work of Ken Meyer, I'm not sure how his name would be pronounced. He strikes this chiming chord now and then that just sounds so Adrian Belew to me. Very arty, but also very catchy. It contains the song Mimi on the Beach, which was, I think, a bit of a college radio hit. It was, it got play in Canada. And this is a gold-stamped promo copy. Hype sticker applied directly to the cover. Lyric inner sleeve. And production with a very 80s sound. I think there's some Fairlight CMI providing some of the sounds here. That's definitely going to send your mind into Kate Bush and Peter Gabriel territory. And both of those artists are good comparisons to the kind of sound world and artistic songwriting that this inhabits.
Here's another thing that I noticed last night. When he kissed me over there, he usually kissed me over here, too. Must have known it in my heart and with my inner sense of art. Cause when I kiss him over there, I never kiss him over here, too. It's a weird world, people do it everywhere. If you're gonna do it over here, then it's easy to do it over there.
This album would be followed the next year by The Speckless Sky. Great album, and that was the only one of Jane Siberry's albums to chart in the USA.
I have to clear your table, so I wipe it. It's right to keep it clean, so I clean. Yes, I clean. Do you clean? Yes, I clean it. I have to empty ashtrays, I empty them. It's right to keep them clean, so I clean. Yes, I clean. I'm the queen of the clean. And I'd probably be famous now if I wasn't such a good waitress, waitress, waitress.
So those first two were both local pickups from Vinyl Solution here in San Mateo. This next record was scored from Rob the Waxed's auction, and it is 1975's Paradise by Sonny and Linda Sharrock. Now, this is the third release by Sonny Sharrock. His first two had been under his own name, but Linda, his wife, had always been a collaborator. And this is the first time that she was co-credited. Not only co-credited, but she's the only person on the cover. Sonny is nowhere to be found. This is the first album that Sonny Sharrock had on a major label. This is on Atco. This was Sonny Sharrock's first album since 1970. As mentioned, this one is from 1975, and it would be his last album until 1982, by which time Linda was out of the picture. So this sort of came in the middle of a long, dry stretch for Sonny Sharrock as far as recording under his own name. It's pretty evidently an attempt to go commercial, to sell out, and oh boy, did they not do that. Because here we have Linda Sharrock all dolled up, all makeup all over her face, and these cute hair things to make her look like a bird of paradise. And so you get the idea there's an actual bird of paradise on the back cover. But musically, we've got, she's looking like a disco diva. This is going to be some kind of soul funk project. And the rhythm section kind of got that memo. So we have funky vamps, but what's happening on top, especially the soloing, not just from Sonny Sharrock himself, but from Linda as a vocalist, and especially from the keyboardist, Kenny Armstrong, that stuff is insane. The album is formatted with 2 lengthy songs on each side, plus a shorter song in between each pair. So the album begins with Apollo, where we have a kind of standard groove to start off with, and Linda starts cooing, but then she kind of starts evolving into more of a growl, and then back again. So we know her vocal isn't going to stay in that melodic vein. And after the opening melody statement, we get the first keyboard solo, which is this insane fast fusion, outside wildness. And then Sonny himself comes in with his first solo, which is based on crazily bent notes that just wobble all over hell. The pitch is unbelievably unstable and just freaking out all over the place. And after that, we get an abrupt cut back to the opening, and that's it. So the instrumental soloing on that opening cut is just so bizarre and so freakish that this isn't going to be any kind of a sellout or bow to commerciality. The producer of this album is the avant-garde electronic musician Ilan Mimarolu. So that may have a little clue to it. The second song on the album is End of the Rainbow, and this is a much more serene and floating piece of music. This is, I guess, like the single from the album. It's a lovely tune. It evokes western vistas and wide open prairies, and it's 2 minutes and 57. Say that's the moment of calm. That's the peaceful single commercial song, and it's followed by Miss Doris, which has a funky Crusaders-like vamp, and Linda, instead of having a melody to sing, she basically goes whoa 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 whoa. It's somewhat like a cross between a Hollywood Indian and Curly from the Three Stooges. That's followed by another completely untethered bleepy bloopy keyboard solo, and then Linda comes in for a vocal solo statement, an extended vocalese piece, very nasal and aggressive sounding, making animal-like sounds, definitely in the vein of somewhere between Yoko Ono and Ursula Dudziak. Great stuff if you like avant-garde singing. There are odd little mellotron interjections going on in the background, and then finally Sonny takes over with another guitar solo that alternates between frantic scraping and more of that bizarre wobbly pitch business. Side 2 begins with 1953 Blue Boogie Children. And this features a double-tracked guitar freak-out from Sonny and another vocal solo, this time opening with an odd little electronic effect. So you're not quite sure at the beginning that it's going to be the vocal or a synthesizer or just what, but it develops into another Yoko Ono, Diamanda Galas, Ursula Dudziak type of vocal statement. And that's followed by the track Peaceful. And this is like the counterpart of the short interlude piece on side 1, End of the Rainbow. It's spiritual, features rolling timpani in the background, but no real beat-oriented rhythm section. Just a sweet respite from the craziness of the longer tracks. And the last track is Gary's Step, which from the title might sound like something danceable and does feature tropical atmospheres, but it just keeps stretching as far as beats, changing and stretching. There is a rock beat that is intermittent, but it alternates with out-of-time passages, so definitely not a dance piece. And definitely something that's a lot more interesting to just listen to, because this whole album is outrageous and wonderful. Paradise from Sonny and Linda Sharrock. So that's VC Friday for the last week in January. I'll be seeing you in February with something new. So thanks very much for watching. Be well, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
Excuse me, don't excuse me. Clem, you're making, not making the doctor unhappy.